Oh, it's so nice to. Oh, bloody hell. It's so nice to be playing games again.
Yeah.
I mean, I love you know me, Biz. I love going on holiday, but one of the problems with going on holiday is that
you can't play games.
Can't play games. We did almost consider getting. I'm in the wrong door. We did almost consider getting a taking the laptop with us, but that might have
been a little bit cumbersome.
I think Mum and Dad might have got a bit grumpy with that.
Yeah.
Right, we're just gonna take on this bird first because you don't need to. This is an optional bad guy, but it gives you an extra heart. So you know that that arcade we went to while on holiday.
Yeah.
And there was everything was Pac-Man themed. There were huge Pac-Man games, Pac-Man slot machines.
Yeah.
You know, Pac-Man prizes, and there was a big Pac-Man, a big statue of Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And you know that picture I took of me next to
yeah,
the one that you took of me.
Yeah.
Stood next to Pac-Man with the caption, "I got to meet one of my heroes today."
Yeah.
Well,
I know where this is going.
Yeah, I put it on Facebook, and I got loads of likes and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And okay, we got our heart. So yeah, I put it on Facebook and everything, and I got one reply, and that reply was, "I get in the bowl."
Right.
And I was scratching my head at this, thinking, "What?
What?
Is this some sort of modern slang that I'm unaware of? Is this something I don't know?" Because you know, I try and keep my finger on the pulse, babe. But,
yeah.
You know, it's hard. And after about a day or so, I thought, hang on, get in the bowl. That's from that Eminem advert.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh God, that guy thinks Pac-Man is the yellow Eminem. so I'm like, no, he's Pac-Man. And then about a week later, another one goes, "Oh, I love M&M's too. He's my hero." And I'm like, no, he's not. He's not the yellow M&M. He's Pac-Man. And then people started saying about how much they love M&Ms, and they've been to M&M World in Leicester Square and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's not an M&M.
And in the end, I was just like, yeah, all right. Do you know what? Fine. It's the fucking yellow M&M. Fine. I love M&Ms enough to have my picture taken next to a model of one.
Yeah. I thought everybody knew about Pac-Man.
Well, I couldn't figure out who. I think some of them may have been trolling me.
Maybe.
I think some of them knew it was Pac-Man. And they
kind of hope so, but.
Oh, well, life one down.
You didn't want to do that.
No. Do you know who does the voice of the yellow M&M in the adverts?
I haven't seen one for a while. Can't quite imagine it in my head.
It is J.K. Simmons.
Is it?
Yeah. The yellow M&M, I shit you not, is voiced by J.K. Simmons.
I'm totally gonna have to listen out for that for now.
Yeah, well now you know what to listen for. You'll hear it.
Well, I'm surprised I didn't notice that because you know how good I am. I'm like the queen at recognising voices.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like my
That's your
thing.
That's your shtick.
That's my jam.
Yeah. So, what? That should have been on.
It's like whenever we watch King of the Hill, it's like every time an episode comes on, I'm like, that's so and so.
So J.K. Simmons, who also did the voice of Cave Johnson in Portal 2.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favourite games. Now, as you know, babes, some people collect stamps.
Yeah.
Some people collect war memorabilia. I collect facts about voiceovers. So I'm now going to, inspired by J.K. Simmons, I'm now going to go on a rant for 25 minutes about famous people who did voices that you may not know.
Okay.
Vin Diesel was the voice of the Iron Giant.
Well, yeah, I knew that one.
Fergie from terrible band Black Eyed Peas was the voice of Sally from the Peanuts show.
Yeah, I found that out. I think you might have told me that. I didn't know that originally.
Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers was the voice of forget his name, the feral child from the Wild Thornberrys.
Alright. I didn't know that one. That's a cool fact.
Yeah. That episode of The Simpsons, Lisa's first words, Maggie saying "Daddy" was Elizabeth Taylor.
Wasn't it? Yeah. It's like the most money that any actress or actor has ever got for saying one word.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much it was, but it was a lot of money.
In Star Wars Force Awakens, you know, when she when she mind controls that stormtrooper into letting her go.
Oh yeah.
That stormtrooper, oh, bloody hell! That stormtrooper's Daniel Craig.
Yeah. He's so cool.
My favourite voiceover fact is Lorenzo Music.
Okay.
Lorenzo Music, who was kind of famous for doing, but he was a professional voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was his shtick. Oh god, I'm doing terribly at this. Lorenzo Music did the voice of Garfield.
Yeah.
In the 90s, in the early 90s show, Garfield and Friends.
I used to love that.
Yeah, I used to love that show. I used to love Garfield. And I admired his philosophy. Lorenzo Music did the voice of Garfield. He also did the voice of Peter Venkman in the real Ghostbusters TV show.
Alright, yeah. Cool.
Now, do you remember who played Peter Venkman in the film Ghostbusters?
I'm trying to think back. I haven't seen it in a while.
It was Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Bill Murray, after many years of successful film acting, ended up doing the voice of Garfield.
Yes, in those
in the terrible movies, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what that means is, at different points of their career, Lorenzo Music has impersonated Bill Murray, and Bill Murray has impersonated Lorenzo Music.
Yeah! I never thought of it like that.
So, I hope you don't mind, babes, but I've gone back to the old school with today's video.
Oh, definitely not, no.
This is just, when I was a kid, this is one of my favourite games when I was a kid.
Really cool.
Because there was this was made by Ocean, which is a British company.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure aren't going anymore, but that's conjecture. I haven't looked it up. There was a time, believe it or not, when some companies actually made good movie games.
Yeah.
We forget now, with what we know about movie games, that there was a time when movie games could be quite good, and this was one of them. This was a good cover. This was a good game based on a good film.
Yeah.
Now I put it to you that this is impossible to do without getting hit. Look at that.
Yeah,
How
you
is
can't
that
do that
possible without
yeah.
getting hit once? I don't remember it being this hard. We got a question.
Oh, did we?
We did on our Twitter. Someone sent us a question,
Cool.
and thank you for the question because it's a good one. Do you want to know what the question is? I know it verbatim.
Definitely.
Okay, which would be the best superpower to have, and which would be the lamest?
Oh.
Okay, babes. So over to you.
I mean, I know everyone always says this, but I've always thought it'd be super cool to fly.
Yeah, flight is the standard.
Yeah, I know that's really obvious, but it would be so cool.
I would just settle for being able to leave the house without having
yeah.
emotional attacks.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be my superpower.
Yeah.
What about invisibility?
Yeah.
Would you rate invisibility?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it'd be pretty cool because you could just like do crazy stuff and you never get hurt.
Well, if invisibility is your bag, babes, I've got bad news for you.
Right.
If you were invisible, you would not be able to see. You would be blind. You'd be blinded by light. because of how the eye works. The eye works by focusing light at a tiny pinprick in your retina. And if there's nothing stopping light getting into your eye, all you'd see is blinding white the whole time.
Oh, okay.
So, how much do you really want that?
No, not really.
I think for me, it would be Bernard's watch. It'd be stopping time.
That would be so cool.
And not just for pervy reasons, although... Where'd that guy go? Is he coming back? Oh, he fucked off. The lamest superpower to have would be... is one that's already been explored in superhero fiction, and that's whatever the fuck it is that Gambit claims he can do. You know Gambit from the X-Men?
Yeah.
Like, you have all these X-Men who can do cool stuff, control your mind, control metal, be essentially immortal, can turn incorporeal, right? And Gambit one day turns up to the X-Men, like, what can you do? Oh, dude, like, fucking A, let me show you. Brings out a pack of cards, and he throws one, and like, ow, that really hurt. Yeah, man, my superpower's been able to throw cards really hard. And everyone will be like, okay, well, that's not really a superpower as such, is it? That's just you've been able to throw cards. No, I electrify them. Right, so
right, okay.
You're still essentially just throwing cards. It's like no, I can electrify anything. All right, and what do you do once you've electrified this stuff? I've told you, I throw it. What? I've never been here before. Oh wow, have I skipped a load of the level?
Cool.
Have I skipped or have I gone backwards?
I don't know.
It's hard to tell, it looks so bloody similar.
I reckon something like sort of, I don't know, like being magnetic or something would be pretty lame. Like at first it sounds really cool. No.
Being magnetic.
No, but at first it sounds really...
just in general, just being magnetic.
Yeah, because like at first you think it was really cool, and then you'd be like, oh, because like every single time, like you know, you were around like a spoon or something, it would just stick through you. And you'd
Wait.
it off.
I don't. Would there be a period of you thinking that's cool?
I don't know.
Every time you reach into your pocket to grab some change, you would just come out with a hand covered in coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with you both.
Yeah, be magnetic.
Given the choice, I would not want to be magnetic.
No, and like I totally wouldn't want to like be able to like read people's minds or something. Yeah, that would be like.
Would you not? That'd be sweet.
Well, yeah, that's a similar thing. Is like, you know, at first it might be really cool, but then you get really sick of it because people wouldn't like. It would never leave your head, and then also it means that you'd always know exactly what everyone's thinking of you, and like that's not something that you want to do.
You're lowballing here, but imagine how good you could be at poker if you could read people's mind.
True. There would be advantages, definitely, but it would also be
and think how well you could
well.
blackmail people as well. See, maybe it's just me.
I think though if you made it too obvious, they would totally like start to catch on and be like, hang on.
You can read minds here. Well, is there any rule in poker that says you can't read minds? Well, no, I've not read the rules, right? Right, I don't think it actually specifically says you're not allowed to read minds.
No.
Because that would be prejudice. That always annoyed me about the X-Men films.
What?
When people said it was a parable of like the civil rights movement in America. And I'm like, what hit me there?
I don't know.
Oh well, never mind. Yeah, people say it's a parable of the civil rights movement in America, and it's not. It isn't.
It's about like outsiders in society and stuff, and people who are different, like like people like me. I feel it's more about that. It's more about people with disabilities and stuff, and people with things that are different being like ostracized.
No.
More, it is.
No, it isn't.
It just is.
No, it isn't, and I'll tell you why.
It is.
ostracized people in society, right? You know, minorities, homosexuals, ethnic minorities, you know, travelling community, right? Can they at will start fires from their fingers?
That's not what...
Like that guy, Brian Cox, in the first X-Men, or was it the second one? I can't remember. One of the bloody X-Men films. Wanted to keep track of like the movements of mutants, right? Because they are all weapons, right? Not because he was racist or prejudiced, right? Many of those mutants can kill untouched.
Yeah, but that is
You
one
don't
of the,
think
like, the main
you don't
themes of the films, though,
you
isn't
don't
it?
think that should be like monitored. And everyone was like, "Oh, you can't monitor that. You can't monitor this stuff. That's just prejudice."
Yeah, but they're not,
It's not prejudice.
They're not in control of what they can do, are they?
What?
Like,
That's not really. That's kind of even more important to monitor than Shirley.
That's what. No, but like they they didn't ask to be like that. They have no choice. Just like people like me don't have a choice.
What difference does that make?
What do you mean? What difference? Like that's a whole like part of the films. I don't see how you can miss that, to be honest.
But do you think then there shouldn't be any monitoring of the X-Men?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like you're saying that kind of, that sort of message and stuff isn't there in the films, and it just is.
What message? What message?
The whole, like not being prejudiced towards people and stuff.
Yeah, not being prejudiced towards people, but keeping an eye on people who can start fires, kill people, read their minds, like turn people into ice, control weather. You don't think those type of people should be monitored in any way? You don't think there should be a charter for that? The whole like Malcolm X versus Martin Luther King parable falls on its fucking ass because Martin Luther King nor Malcolm X had superpowers.
Yeah, but they were extremely like
Rosa Parks did not.
They were extremely powerful and influential people, though, weren't they?
Rosa Parks did not use adamantium to keep her seat.
There's like so many places in this where you can die.
Yeah, I know, right?
Pretty
Can and do die.
Yeah.
Oh, full disclosure, I turned on the 100 life cheat. If you're wondering how I've got so many lives, I typed in the 100 life cheat before we started. I'm sure a lot of you figured that out already.
Yeah, I mean...
There's no way with my tubby fingers. I've been nimble enough to get through this on the 5 lives.
No, this video would have been an extremely quick video if you hadn't put the cheat in.
Yeah, it'd be over by now 10 times. Fuck. See?
Didn't you say that, like, the first time that you tried to play this again after years, you still remembered the cheat code?
Yeah, well, the cheat code for this one is just 5 ones, so that's fairly easy. But there are other cheats. There's a cheat that lets you go straight to the boss, and that's BLRZZ. And there were yeah, there are other. Oh, thank God for checkpoints. So, do you remember who we are in this particular phase of the game? Who we're rescuing?
Can't actually, no.
It's Grandma.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any grandparents anymore.
No. I don't have as many as I did, unfortunately.
Did I ever tell you what became of my nan?
Yeah.
Because you never got to meet my nan, and you would have.
Sadly.
How do I? Oh. And you would have. Yeah. You would have loved her, my nan. Well, you'd have loved both my grands, but you'd have loved my nan. She was a typical like lifelong Cockney.
Yeah.
Like ow. You don't want to make that. See, I remember when she was poorly at the end.
Yeah.
And as everyone does nowadays, she spent a lot of time suffering.
Yeah.
And she was at home, which was nice, and she spent a lot. Do I turn this on or off? Yeah. and she spent a long time suffering. And when she finally did die, it was a relief, of course, because you don't have any more pain anymore.
Yeah, of course.
But I remember when I saw her, in just lying there. Yeah, I was not prepared for it because that was kind of like the first dead body I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And
yeah, actually, my grandpa was as well. Actually.
Yeah, and when you see dead bodies in films, they always have like that. When people have died in hospital, they have that serene.
Yeah.
That serene face.
That doesn't happen in reality.
No. And you know how like they just palm their hand over their eyes to close it?
Yeah.
That is not as easy to do as Hollywood would have you believe.
Well, you have to do it straight away.
Well, yeah, that's probably the problem.
Yeah.
Because when I came in, my nan's face looked like Donald Sutherland at the end of Body Snatchers.
Oh.
Just a face of abject horror. And no one knew how to change it. We tried closing her eyes, but it wouldn't close.
Oh.
So yeah, she had the most like horrific face ever, and my nan would have found it hilarious. The only reason I'm telling you all this is because she herself would have found this hilarious. And when when they were, when they came to take her away, the whole family were there. Me and all my mum, my dad, my brother, and all that. We were all there, and the people had come to take her away, and they were slowly wheeling her out, and obviously no one wanted to say anything. It was all silent. And then when literally as they were taking her through the front door, my uncle's phone went off.
Oh no.
And this was back in the days.
Yeah, I remember this.
This was back in the days when you still had Nokias and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it was all beepy ringtones. And my uncle's ringtone was, and no joke, it was.
Oh,
So my dear old nan who'd lived through the war, survived evacuation, lived through the recession, the Cold War, decimalisation. Her reward for that life well lived was to be soothed with the Mexican hat dance. Right, pick a door, babes. We just did. Was it this one we just did? I'm not doing this one. This one's too hard. That was just a solid. Right, so pick. So we did that door. We did that door. So we have. We've got two doors to choose from. We've got two doors to choose from. This door or the top door.
That one.
This one leads us to the portrait gallery. Okay, you ready to have your mind blown?
Go on then.
Okay, look. Okay, what is wrong with this picture here? I'll give you a clue. It's the thing I'm standing on. I'm gonna go into this in more detail in a later video, but look at the number 4 on this clock.
I was just gonna say, is it the 4?
Okay, is I the Roman numeral for 4?
No.
What is the Roman numeral for 4?
Oh god, I can't remember.
It's IV.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Now, you may think this is just because it's a weird, quirky Addams Family thing, but no! Anyone now, at this very minute, is wearing a watch that has Roman numerals on it. Look at your watch now. Look at the number 4. That number 4 is probably wrong. I noticed this about a year ago, and now I see it everywhere. The number 4 on clocks, when written in Roman numerals, is written wrong.
Yeah.
And I've tried looking this up, and I I can't like for the life of me figure out why. No one online seems to know either. Like if you ask 100 people, 100 people give you 100 different reasons.
Yeah, it's so strange.
It's just always been the way apparently. Big Ben isn't. Big Ben is written correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really strange.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Once you notice it, you can't unnotice it.
Yeah.
Like the fact that there's an arrow in the FedEx logo.
Oh yeah, I never.
And the fact that the Canadian flag is actually just two men screaming at each other. Have you ever noticed that?
No.
Okay, next time you look at the Canadian...
That's not what it does.
Yeah, well, no, it's not really what it is, but it's what it looks like. Next time you look at the Canadian flag,
Okay.
I want you to picture... Have you got your phone on you?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Get your phone, bring up the Canadian flag.
Okay. Might take a second.
You got it?
Almost. How does it? I can't see that.
Okay, like look at it. So imagine two men butting foreheads, screaming at each other.
Sorry, babe, I totally can't see
Give
that.
it.
I can't see that at all.
You got to bring it up. You can bring up the picture.
Yeah, but it's still.
Okay, right. You ready to have your bollocks blown off, babe?
Maybe
Okay.
if I had some.
Right, there are the two guys' noses, yeah? And that's the two guys' mouths.
No.
Look!
I don't see it.
No, look! Look, it's like the two men are butting heads here, right? I'm going to bring... That's their two noses, right? That's their two noses. They're both facing each other.
Right.
And that's their screaming mouths.
No, I
Look at it.
I totally,
How do you not see that?
I totally don't see that.
That is two men screaming at each other.
No, it's not.
Look, they're their noses.
Where?
There, look, where my fingers are. Look, that's one nose. That's the other nose.
That's not a nose.
That is two men
Oh
screaming.
my god, I see it now.
Thank you. See?
I see it
See?
now.
Now you will never not see that.
I totally see it now.
I've infected you. I've cursed you with that knowledge. You will never not see that now.
Oh my god, I do. I see it.
See?
That's so weird.
See, and there was you just thinking I was being weird, seeing two faces in a flag.
It took me ages to see it, but I totally see it now.
Yeah, thank you. See?
Ah.
So now, but here's the thing now, babes.
Mm.
You will never not see that now.
Yeah.
You will see that more than you'll actually see
Than
the
the
maple
actual
leaf.
flag, yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, I'm surrounded by knights and lizards on unicycles.
What a strange
This is
comment.
exactly how I know I'm going to die.